Okay, so let's start the class. So yesterday we had completed the information gathering, scanning, enumeration, and also the vulnerability analysis. So in this session, we are going to start with the gaining access phase, which is actually hacking the devices. So let's take a scenario. So here, let's mention down some. So here we are mentioning the phases of hacking, which is also known as methodology of hacking. So here first we have information gathering, and then we have scanning. Inside scanning, we have network scanning, admission and vulnerability analysis, and then we have gaining the access. So we are on the gaining access. Now, gaining access is like actually hacking the machines. So here we will take scenario number one, where we are going to hack the metasploitable machine. Okay, so in our case, the target machine is metasploitable. Okay, now it is a kind of a server, and now target machine is also known as our host, which is known as remote host. Okay. Then we have attacker machine, which is our Kali machine. And this is also known as L host, which is local host. Okay. So now we are going to hack this machine, which is metasploitable. So we will start with the information gathering phase. So here we can collect the IP address of this metasploitable machine with the help of Angry IP scanner. And even before that, we have to mention 3 points. So first point is who we are hacking, like what kind of machine we are hacking. So basically we are hacking a server. Okay. Secondly, what is the purpose of hacking? Like why are we hacking this machine? So we are hacking for gaining the root access. That is our ultimate challenge here. And then what kind of tools we are going to use? So we are going to use some Angry IP scanner, like some tools like Angry IP scanner and Nmap, and then let's see. Okay, so these are some few tools like Angry IP Scanner and Map. Also, we can use Metasploit. So it depends. Okay, like we can mention some initial tools. We are going to get started. So we will use Angry IP Scanner to collect IP address. We will use Nmap to check for the open ports. Okay, for mainly for the network scanning. And then we have Metasploit for actually hacking the device. Okay, so first let's start the Metasploit. So we have already set up this machine in the scanning phase, this metasploitable second. So before hacking, make sure that your metasploitable and your Kali both are on the same network as bridge network. Okay. So here the metasploitable is on the bridge. Okay. And power on this machine. And make sure your Kali is also on the bridge network. So first we can open the terminal and here we can use ifconfig. So this is the range of my IP address like 192.168.0.12255. So we can use Angry IP Scanner or we can use Advanced IP Scanner or we can use Net Discover. Okay, you can choose any of this application. So here we can mention the range which is 192.168.0.12255. So let's check. So we can start scanning the machines. So the IP address of Metasploitable is 192.168.0.108. Okay, so we can also mention this one here for future reference. Okay, and now we can close the scan. And here we can use sudo. Now second step is to use nmap for scanning the open ports, for scanning for the operating system, and also like what kind of services are running on the open ports and the versions of the services. So we can use nmap -sv for the version scanning, -a for the aggressive scan, -o capital O for the operating system scanning, and -t4 for increasing the number of threads. And then we can use the IP address of the target machine. Okay, again, V for the version scanning, A for the aggressive scanning, O for the operating system scanning, and T for increasing the number of threads so that we can speed up the process. Yeah. So here, like here, port number 21 is open, which is FTP, and this service is running. Then we have SSH running, we have Telnet, SMTP, and so on. So now we can pick up any port number. See, one way of hacking is we can attack on the port number. Okay. If ports are vulnerable, then we can attack on the ports number. Second way is we can hack the server using the website. If any website is hosted on the server, then we can hack the server using the website also if the website is vulnerable. Okay. And third point is we can hack the server using password cracking. Okay. And we can also use some other methods. Okay. So basically, what we can do is we can check how many ports are open. Port number 21 is open. Now here we can notice port number DNS is also open. 111 is open. NetBIOS are open. So here we can see port number 80 is also open for HTTP. Right. Port number 80 is open for HTTP, and even 443 is also open for HTTPS. Okay. And some other ports are open. So basically, if you find also 8180 port is open for HTTP. So whenever we are scanning for any server, and if you find that port number 80, 443, or any HTTP port is open, then we can say that there is a website hosted on this particular server. Okay, means port number 80, port number 443. These are common for HTTP and HTTPS. And if any other port open like any 8180 where you find HTTP as a service running, then we can say there's a website hosted on that particular server. Then we can open the browser and we can open the website as well. Okay, so we can mention the IP of the target machine of the server. So this website is hosted. Okay, so we will come back to this website later. Okay, for now we have to find some other way. Okay, we can attack this server on the basis of website as well, but that is for different part. Okay, for now what we can do, we can choose one port. As you can see, many ports are open. So maybe one of them may be vulnerable. So what we can do, we can pick up any port. Let's say port number 21. Now this port is vulnerable or not, we can check using exploits. Okay, because ports are the entry and exit points. And once you find the exploit for any port number, then we can easily enter into the website, sorry, into the server. So what we can do, we can search for the exploit. So that is the part of vulnerability analysis, where we are finding if this service is vulnerable or not. Okay, so we can use multiple databases or we can use MSF console. So what we can do, we can open the new tab here and we can use sudo. And here we can use MSF console. And what is this MSF console? MSF console is a command to open Metasploit. So we have Metasploit. Metasploit is a tool here. Okay, tool used for hacking. and metasploitable is a machine which we are hacking. So they both are different. Okay, just names are very similar, but metasploitable is a vulnerable machine, and Metasploit is a tool which is pre-installed inside a Kali Linux, and it is way more powerful. Okay, so okay, now here we can first clear the screen, and now we are searching for search exploit VSFTPD and 2.3.4. This is our version we are searching for. Okay, here. Okay, and once we find the exploit, the entire process is like become simple. Okay, now you can see we have a exploit available for this particular um version. Okay, so what we can do, we can simply use it. Now, how to use it? So either we can mention use zero, zero is the index number, or we can copy the name of this entire exploit, copy, and we can paste it here. Okay, so it's your choice. You can mention the index number also, and you can also mention the name. Okay, any one of this. So we can just use zero as well, or we can use name as well. Okay, and here it is also showing zero for the index number, or we can mention the full name and then enter. Now here we can see we are using the exploit. Then we can use show options. Okay, we have to check the options. Now here we have some options here. First here we have C host and C port, which is client address and client port. Okay, and the requirement here is no and no. Then we have proxy chain, which is no here requirement. Then we have R host, which is yes here. And here you can see the current setting, which is blank here. So here we have blank, here we have blank. Now for R port is fill here. Okay, we have 21 R port here, which is already filled. So what we can do? So we can also fill these options, but that is not compulsory because of no option here. If you find no here, which is it is not compulsory to fill these options. But if you find yes here, which means it is compulsory to fill this option because the requirement is compulsory, which is yes here. And here the requirement is no, which is it is not compulsory to fill. You can fill, okay, you cannot fill. It depends. But there's no compulsion to fill this one, these options. So what we can do, we will only fill this option, which is compulsory here, which is yes. Now what is R host? R host is known as remote host, which is your target machine. So here we have to mention the IP address of the target machine in the R host. So we have to set the R host here. So we can use set R host, okay, and then IP address of the target machine. Okay, then we can use show options again, and you can see we have filled the R host. Okay, because it is yes, the requirement is yes, which is compulsory to fill. Otherwise, the attack will not work. Okay, now what we can do? We can simply run. Now everything is okay here. So what we can do? We can simply run it. Okay, we can try. So we are just trying the exploit here. Let's see if this will work or not. Okay. So for running the exploit, you can use run or you can use exploit. Any two options. Okay, like any one of this option. We can use exploit also. We can use run also. Okay, now you can see the attack is successful because you can see the UID here and found shell, which means we have successfully compromised the target machine. Okay, now you can see command shell session 1 open, which is now we have accessed the target machine with the help of shell. Okay, if I type here ID, so here I'm a root user, which means we have successfully compromised the machine as a root user, which means we are inside the target machine. Okay, now we can apply any command. We can use pwd, we can use who am I, we can move inside root user, sorry. Okay, we can use ls, like we can do any operation here. We can use help here to check. So now you can do any operation. You can download any file, you can upload any file, you can source, you can run any other script, and you can run this session in the background. Like we have many options. But for now, we have fully compromised the machine. Because first we are root user here. Okay, like we have gained this access as a root user, not as a normal user. So here we are a root user. First option. Secondly, we are inside the target machine, which means now we can access any of the files. We can access any part of the machine with the help of our terminal. Okay, this means we have gained the reverse shell. Okay, so this is the shell here. You can see found shell. Now we can operate the machine. Okay, so let me show you an example here. Let's say I'm creating a file here. So we can use mkdir. Let's say file 111.txt. Okay, and let's say I'm writing something in this file. Hello, sorry, echo. We can write hello here. And then we can save into this file 111.txt. Okay, now we can cat file 111.txt. Oh, sorry, it is a directory. Sorry. We can create a file inside this directory here. Okay, so we can cd inside file 111.txt. Okay, let me remove first this one. File, this is the name of the directory. We can write ls here. So let's see we have this file here. Okay, we can create another file using touch command, touch file 111.txt. Now this is a file, and now we can echo inside file, which is we can write something. Let's say hello. Okay, and let's say we are saving this into the file 111.txt, and then we can cat this file 111.txt. Okay, we have hello world. So this is we are creating the files, we are writing into the file inside the target machine. So let me open the target. So this is my main machine which we are hacking. So now here we can log in using msf admin is a username here, and msf admin is the password. Okay, so whenever you type password, this will not visible here. So we have msf admin as a username, and msf admin is the password. Okay, so we are inside this machine. Now we can use cd to move in root directory, and we can use ls here. So now you can notice here, let me highlight the file. So now you can see we have three files, file 111 and file.txt. So we have created file 111.txt from our machine. Okay, so here we have this file 11.txt which we have created, and now we can cat this file here, which is we can use cat file 111.txt. Okay, so we don't have the permission. Even we don't have the permission in the main machine. Okay, we can read it because we are not a root user here. Okay, we can change the password. Okay, just like we are doing the Linux machine. But for now, we can notice we have created the file 111 from our machine, and it is created in the main machine, which is the target machine, which means we are inside the target machine. So whatever the command you will type here, this will all execute in the target machine. Okay. So we have successfully gained the access as a CLI version in the target machine. So now you can operate it. Now you can do anything. You can download any file. You can see any file. You can list any file. You can upload anything. You can do any number of activities. Okay. Well, it is a server. That is why we have limited number of tasks. Let's say if this is the window machine, then you can even open the camera, you can open the any file, you can open any application, you can open any process, you can open the microphone. Like you can do multiple options. Like we have multiple options in the Windows machine, but it is a simple server. That is why we have limited options here. Okay. Now, tell me, is it clear or not? The whole process.
Yes, I have a question, ma'am. Can you download any file from the target machine to our machine?
Yes, yes. Let me do it. So here we can download. Let's say we have this file, vnc.log file. So we can use download option here and vnc.log. Okay, we have to mention that. Let me check the command here. So we can use any other file. Let me check my directory. We are inside root. So let's say we can download this file.txt. So we can use download and file.txt. Okay, we are in usage source and then we have mentioned destination. Okay, let me check in some other directories. Okay, so we cannot download a folder with the help of this machine. So what we can do, we can download a file. We can go inside root, ALS, and we can use download. Now the source of the file is, we can mention the name of the file, which is file.txt, and we can mention the destination, Kali. Okay, download file, home Kali.
It is failed.
Let me check it. No issue. We can start the server again. So we can search for the exploit. So we can try one more time, which is we can use download and we can use file.txt. So I think this command is not working inside Metasploit because of the version, maybe. Okay. Or we can open the shell. Let me open it. Okay, so we have given the access, we have changed the shell. Now we can try one more time. We can use download. Or what we can do is we can use wget. Let me check. Yeah, this is not supporting in this machine. Machine. Okay. So what we can do, we can start the Python server here and we can transfer the files from here to the local machine, which is if the Python is supported here. So we can use Python -3 -m http.server 1224. Python is not supported here, so we can install one apt get. Okay, because of this, the machine is a very limited machine. That is why it is not working. I guess that is the issue.
Are you able
Otherwise,
to copy any file from a target machine to local machine? Not download, just copy any file.
okay, you can try this one. can check here. If I the copy file command will not work here because of we are inside a target machine officially. So the copy will not work. What we can do for downloading the files, we can start the server, the Python server, or we can start Apache server. We can try it. So what we can do, we can put the file here. We have the folder, we have dev, and we have WA. So what we can do, we can move the file here. So we can move into root, and we can move the file 111.txt to this location, which is where, and let's say we can move inside dbwa. Else we can check here. Yeah, and now we can open the browser in the local machine, and here we can mention the file name and the path, which is dbwa, and name of file is file 111.txt. I think this will work. Okay, we don't have the access. So if you, we can use. So here we have the uploads folder. Yeah, we can move inside Hackable. Okay, and we can move inside uploads. And here we can move the file. So what we can do, we have this file which is file 111. We can move this file 111.txt inside Hackable and uploads. Now can move inside Hackable. So now we have this file. Now we can further move it inside uploads, which is file 111.txt to uploads. Okay, so what we can do is here we can either mention the full path, which is dvwa, and then we have Hackable, then we have uploads. We can open it. Okay, and we can open this file 11.txt and we can download. So we don't have permission here, so we can log in this particular panel, which is here. We can use dvwa as a server, and we can log in using admin is a username here, and password is password. Okay, and then we can change the path. So again, we can use Hackable uploads. And we can click this file 111.txt. Okay, again, we don't have the permission. So we can provide the permission here. So, but this is a very long process. So we can provide permission here. File 111.txt. This will work. Cannot access 111. What is the name of? Sorry, you have to move inside uploads. And then we can Okay, so let's try one more time. We can use -a. So now for this file, we have all the permissions. So we can try one more time. We can refresh this one. Okay, now you can see, we can see the contents of the file, hello world. And if you want to upload, like if you want to download this file, then in the local machine, then we can simply use here wget, and then here we can mention the URL of this file, which is Control C, and here we can use Control Shift V. Okay, and here you can see file is successfully downloaded, but it is a very long process because here the download command is not working because of the metasploitable machine, because of the old version. Okay, so this is metasploitable second. You can try this in the metasploitable 3 machine. Okay. Otherwise, in most of the server, these download or this upload commands will work. Okay, we will see in the Windows also, like how we can upload and how we can download any file from Windows to local machine. Okay, otherwise, this command is not working in this machine only. So we can use the second way, which we have transferred the file, this file in the server location, and then we have opened the website, and from here we have like downloaded the file. So this is second approach of using the like Apache server. Okay, so if one approach is not working, we can use any other approach. And in the Linux, the servers are already installed, like Apache server or other PHP server, so you can try it. Okay, is it clear this much? Any
Yes,
questions?
okay. No, that's all.
Okay, so basically we can exit. So this is a very simple machine of like how we can compromise it. Okay, metasploitable. So you can compromise this metasploit in like for example, we have many ports open. We have like numerous ports open. So we can also attack on any other port, like we can also attack on FTP, we can also attack on NetBIOS, on SMTP, on Telnet, etc. So you can this is your assignment. What you can do, you can try hacking this machine with the help of this VNC server. Okay, try hacking this machine with the help of this 5900 port and this NetBIOS port 139. Okay, try it. Then, like, try it after the class. Now we can move to any other machine, which is the second machine. Okay, this is first scenario. We can copy the entire scenario. The second machine which we are going to hack is Cubeatrix level 1. So in the Cubeatrix, it is a series of machines in which we have 4 to 5 levels. Okay, so in the sessions, we will going to compromise levels 1 and level 2nd. So level 1 is again very easy. Okay, now again it is a kind of a server, and we have to we have the same like the process here. First, we will start with the information gathering with the help of IP scanner, and then we will use Nmap for scanning, and then we will use Metasploit for attacking. Okay, so what we can do, we can download the Cubeatrix machine first. So open the browser, and from here we can search for Cubeatrix level 1 and download. So here we can mention Cubeatrix level 1 and download this one. So click on this first URL, which is first one, and then click on this mirror image. Okay, make sure to click on this mirror image, this one, and click on download. Okay, this link. So this is a zip file. Okay, so let me pause it. So this is a zip file. So you have to unzip it, or you can extract using any extractor. Okay, or WinR or any other 7-zip. Then after unzipping this file, open the VMware, and from VMware, click on File and click on Open. Okay, so it is the same process as Metasploit. Then move to location where your VMX file is located, which is inside Cubeatrix level 1 and this VMX image. Click on this VMX image and click on Open. So this will open your Cubeatrix level 1 machine. Okay, which is this one. So here we can click on Edit Virtual Machine Settings. And here we can click on Bridge Network Okay, make sure the networks are on, like the Kali machine and this target machine. Both should be on the same network. So that is why we are putting this in the bridge mode and click on OK. And then power on this virtual machine. So in this scenario, Kubernetes is a server. Okay. And I don't know if any website is hosted or not. Okay. And here we have the rhost, and it is also known as remote host. So first we will use Angry IP scanner to collect the IP address. So we can use Angry IP scanner. You can use advanced IP scanner also. So here we will follow the same methodology. First, we are using information gathering. So we can mention the range here, and then we can mention the we can start scanning. So the IP address of the queue matrix is 192.168.0.102. Okay, so here we can mention the IP. Okay, then we can start with the nmap scan. Okay, the process is same only, so we can use nmap, and again we can use the version scanning, the aggressive scanning, operating system scanning, and then increasing the number of threads. Okay. Now we can check port number here. Port number 22 is open, which is SSH. Okay. Then port number HTTP is open again, which is of 80. And here the machine is using Apache server. The version is 1.3.20. Okay. Then we have RPC is open, NetBIOS is open, SSLC 443 is also open, which is HTTPS is also open. And then we have this one 1024 is also open. That's it. Okay, so here few ports are open. Plus we have the MAC address of the machine. Then we have the running. So this is a Linux version. So it is a Linux machine. Okay, Linux server. And the Linux kernel is 2.4. So the version of Linux kernel is 2.4. So we can also focus on the Linux kernel, because maybe we can compromise the machine using Linux kernel. Okay, so we can also focus on this particular version. And then this is level 1. Yeah, yeah, level. Okay. And these are the NetBIOS name. Okay, now what we can do, we can first open the website, because we know that port number 80 is open and port number 443 is open, which is of the website only. So what we can do, we can apply the IP address of the target in the browser to check like in the website. So now here we can see this is a sample page. Okay, we cannot do anything with this page because it is like a sample page of Apache. Okay, so we have single web page here. So we cannot attack the server with the help of website, because we don't have anything in the website. We cannot hack this web page, right? So what we can do? So the website option is over. So we can use again the ports here. Okay, so the first priority you can give to open ports. If ports are open and if ports are vulnerable, then try to attack the website or the server, sorry, the server using open ports. And if the ports are closed, but there's a website hosted, then second priority is to website. Okay, try to hack the server using the website. So here, what we can do, we can choose a port number. So first port is SSH. Now we can keep this SSH port for the last option. Okay, if nothing works, we can use SSH for hacking the server. So we can keep this SSH as the last option. Then we have HTTP. Nothing we cannot do with the HTTP because we don't have any website. Okay, we have just a single web page. So we cannot do with HTTP or HTTPS. What we can do, we can use this one port number, which is NetBIOS 139 port number. Now we can say that Samba is here, like Samba service is running on this particular port number. Okay, so now what is the next step? After identifying that we are going to use this port number, what is the next step? Like what we can do? We have collected the IP with the help of Angry IP scanner. We have used scanning the network. We can use Nmap to see how many ports are open. We have also checked that there's a website hosted, but website is a single web page. So we don't have anything in the website, so we cannot use website as an option. Okay, so what we can do, we can use this port number, which is 139. Okay, now we have to check, right? We have to check if the port is open, like port is vulnerable or not, right? Basically, we are checking if the service is vulnerable or not the port. So we are checking if the service is vulnerable, then we can compromise the port. And if the service is not vulnerable, then we cannot compromise, right? So how to check if the service is vulnerable or not? Can anyone tell me how to check this Samba service is vulnerable or not?
By scanning
What kind of scanning?
IP. Probably my answer is too generic.
Sorry?
By scanning IP, I'm pretty sure my answer is very generic.
Um, we have already scanned the IP address. Okay. And with the scanning the IP, we have found that these ports are open. Now we are picking up this port number, which is port number 139. Means we are just picking this as an option for gaining the access inside the machine. Okay. Now we have to check if this service is vulnerable or not. How we can check it? That is my question. Anyone? See, we are checking if this service is vulnerable or not. So first, it is the part of vulnerability analysis, right? Secondly, we can find the exploit. That's it. So we can simply find the exploit of this particular service to check if this service is vulnerable or not. If we manages to find the exploit, then we can say the service is vulnerable. And if not, then the service is not vulnerable. Simple. So what we can do? We can clear the screen. No, we cannot. We can use another tab here. So we are looking for this Samba here. So again, I am going to use MSF console for that. You can use any database. You can use Exploit DB. We can use MITRE. We can use NIST database. But here we are going to use MSF console for now. Because MSF console is also used for checking if the service is vulnerable or not by using the exploits. And also we can use for hacking the port number. Okay, so here now we are checking if this service, we are not sure right now that the service is vulnerable or not. So we have chosen this port number, which is port number 139. Okay. Now we are looking for this Samba SMBD service. Okay, mainly Samba. This is service version here. So here we can use exploit Samba. Okay, simple. Now we have many exploits here. So first, now remember one thing that whenever we are looking for the exploit, we have to look for the exact operating system, right? And secondly, exact version. whenever we are looking for the exploit. And with the scanning, with the nmap scanning, we have found, one second. Yeah, so with the scanning, we have found that this server is a Linux or Unix server. So we have to look for the exploit for the Linux server only. Okay, so here we have the exploit. This is for Unix, but it is not for Samba. Okay, then we have this one for Windows, again for Linux, Unix, and so on. So we have to look for the keyword Samba here. Okay, now we have the Samba here. So first we have this exploit Samba. Okay, first we have this trans name heap, and second one we have this one for Linux, trans to spoon. So first one we have this one, this 12 exploit, 12th, and we have this one exploit which is 16th. And rest are OS X. This is for the OS X operating system. This is for Solaris, and this is for FreeBSD. Okay, but we are looking for the Linux. So we have two exploits, which is first one is this one, Linux Samba, and second one is Linux Samba trans to spoon. Now here we can check the ranking. So in this here we have the ranking is good here only, but here we have the ranking as excellent, which is great. Okay, so we can try first this one, which is the higher rank of here we have the grade rank here. So we can try this exploit first, and if this doesn't work, then we can try the second one. Okay, which have the good ranking. Okay, so what we can do, we can use this one. Okay, so we can write here use system. We are just trying. Okay, there's no guarantee that this will work or not. We are just trying. So we can use system here, or you can copy the name here. This time we are copying the name and we can paste here. Okay, then here again we can use show options. And then we can set the rhost here, which is set rhost. And here we can mention the rhost means remote host, which means IP address of your target machine. Okay, as I have written here, rhost means remote host, which is IP of your target machine. So we can mention the target IP. Okay, now here we can use show options again. So it is set, R port is set, L host means local host, your Kali IP. This is already set. L port is set. Now the payload. Payload is like we have to set it. So what we can do, we can use show payloads. Like we have to change the payload here. Show payloads. So we have some payloads here. So now we want reverse shell. Okay, and here we are looking for the Linux only. Okay, and we are looking for the meterpreter, but we are looking for the shell, not the connection itself. So in the place of reverse underscore TCP, we are looking for the shell. So what we can do, we can use this one, which is reverse underscore shell underscore TCP. This one. Okay, which is shell underscore reverse underscore TCP. So we can use the payload of which is 33. We can mention the index number. Okay. Yeah. Let me check if we have successfully applied. No issue. We can mention the, sorry, not use. We have to set the payload. Sorry. 33. Okay, now we can use show options again to check. Okay, so we have the RO set, RPort set, we have this one set, and then we have the set, the payload here. Okay, and then we can apply run here, like everything is set. So we can use run here. So it is like trying to attack the port number. Let's see if this will work or not. Okay, now you can see it is working. Now we have opened the shell, which is command shell session 1 2 3 4 open. So now we can type ID here, and now you can see we have successfully gained access in the machine as a root user. Okay, just by applying some few commands. Right, now we can do again anything in the system. We can use help here, we can use who am I, and so on. We can use ls here, We can use cd here. We can get the shell, bin dash. Okay. Okay. So this is how we can compromise this Q-Patrick's machine. So we can do any number of operation. We can read any confidential file. We can use any file and so on. Okay. So these are the usernames of inside this machine. Okay. Inside Q-Patrick's level 1. So it is also very simple machine. So let's sum up. Okay, so first we have used Angry IP scanner to collect IP address of the remote machine, which is target machine. Secondly, we have used Nmap to scan for the open ports. We have scanned for the open ports, for the operating system, for the services running on the open ports, plus the versions. Okay, and with this, we have found that these ports are open. And also we have found that there's a website hosted on this particular server. So we have opened the web page here, like we have mentioned the IP on the browser, and we have found this is a web page. It is like a simple web page. So which we cannot do anything. So we use the second option, which is the port scanning and port hacking. So here we have found that port number 139 is also open. So we have tried to find if this port, if the service on running on this port number is vulnerable or not. So that is why we have used MSF console. Okay, we have used we have like find. Sorry, you have to mention the search here, not use. Okay, you have to mention search here, not use here. So search exploit Samba, and here we have found that we have some exploits here, and we have chosen two exploits. First exploit is 12th one, and second is this one. And we have chosen this exploit because of the ranking here, because the ranking is great here. And we have tried this exploit, we have used this one, and then we have click on show options. Then we have set the necessary details like set rhost. After setting the R host, we have click on show options. Then we have set the payload here, which is we have used the reverse and shell underscore reverse underscore TCP. After using, we have used the run command. And after running, we have got the shell, which is the command shell. And now we can operate the machine, that target machine, with the help of this CLI. Is it clear this much? Like how we have compromised the machine?
Yes,
Yes, yes.
Any questions? Okay. This is
So
how we can hack a.
I have a
Yes,
question.
please.
So among the three ways to gain access in the target machine, which one was the first we should try? With the IP address or host or the admin password?
Uh, like you can try if it depends on the machine first. Let's say you are hacking the server, then you can give the first priority to the open ports. If the ports are open, then you can check how many ports are vulnerable, like how many services are vulnerable on the running ports. You can check it. Okay, so first priority is giving to the open ports. That is why we are first scanning for the open ports, like how many ports are open. After the ports, if all the ports are closed and none of the ports are vulnerable, then you can use website, the second option. You can check if the website are vulnerable or not. If the websites are vulnerable, then we can try to hack the website and then gain access in the server with the help of website hacking. Okay. And third option is you can use password cracking. Okay. And fourth option is like we have many options. It depends on the mechanism of the website or mechanism of the server. So it depends. Okay, like how many options the website is giving, oh, sorry, the server is giving to us.
Clear.
Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, yes.
Now, this is server number second, which we have compromised. Now, then we can use the third scenario, which is the Windows hacking. So here we are going to hack the Windows.
No, Bhavya, you didn't show us number 2. So
Level number second, right?
I'm sorry.
Level second of Cubetrix.
Yeah, level second. Yes.
Yeah, that is the advanced machine we will going to hack in the later session. Before that, we have to
Oh,
complete the
okay,
XML
okay,
injection.
okay. Got it. No problem.
Before
Thanks.
that, we have to complete some modules. Then we can move to level number second.
Okay.
So now we are going to hack the Windows machine, and Windows is a 1 second. Okay, so now Windows, we are going to hack a Windows desktop machine. Okay, and here this is also known as rhost remote machine, and we can change the IP here. Now, first thing is, yeah. So again, who is the machine? It is a Windows machine. So we can mention the Windows here. So mentioning these points like who is your target machine, attacker machine, these points, this will give you the clarity of hacking. Okay, before hacking anything, you should be clear about your target, whom you are hacking, why you are hacking, and what kind of applications you are going to use. So that is why I am mentioning this in each and every machine. Okay, so purpose is, here the purpose is to gain the access only. And then tools we are going to use. So we can use Angry IP scanner for collecting the IP address. We can use Nmap also. Okay. And then we can use Metasploit. Now inside Metasploit, we are going to use uh, MSF Venom and MSF console. Okay. Now MSF Venom is for, it is for creating the malware for the Windows machine. And second is MSF console. This is mainly for attacking. Okay, now here we have to follow a different approach. In the server hacking, we are finding the vulnerability and then we are attacking on that particular vulnerability. But in the Windows hacking, we will create a malware, and with the help of malware, we will share the malware in the Windows machine, and the Windows user will execute the malware, and then we will got a reverse shell. Okay, so let's see. First, we will use Angry Scanner. So this is a Windows machine. I will use my main machine only. Okay, because I am the one who is hacking. So we can use the main machine. Now the Windows machine and the Kali machine, they are both on the same network. So we can use Angry IP Scanner or we can use Net Discover for finding the IP. Okay, this you can perform it by yourself. Okay, here I am using CMD for checking the IP of the Windows machine. Okay, so even the here the IP is not important, but let's see the IP address here for the future reference. So IP address is 198. Okay. So for the IP, you can use Angry IP Scanner, Advanced IP Scanner, or any other application. Okay. Now second step. So let me mention the step. First step is finding the IP. Second is we can scan the Windows machine, but there's no need of scanning, but we can try it. Okay, we can give it a shot. Like how many ports are open in my machine, we can check it. What's the IP on it? Okay, so in my Windows machine, port number SSH is open. I don't know why. And then that's it. One port is open, which is SSH, my MAC address. And now here we have the just OS guesses, which is my machine, maybe a Windows machine, which is Windows 11, 10, or it's like a 92% chances are it is a Windows machine, which it is. And then that's it. Okay, so one port is only open in my machine. So we cannot hack my machine with the help of port number, right? Because only one port is open. So what we can do? We can create a malware for my Windows machine. So for creating a malware, we will use MSF Venom. Okay, -P for payload. And then we are creating for the Windows. Let me use meetupdater and reverse_TCP. Then here we have to mention the lhost. Now what is lhost? Localhost. And what is localhost? IP address of your Kali machine. So you have to mention the IP of your Kali machine here. Okay. Then L port. So here you can mention any port number of your choice. I'm mentioning 1432 or 1224. Any port number you can mention. Then -F for the format of a malware. Now in the Windows, you can see we can run exe file. Okay, so we are creating a malware in the form of exe. Then name of a malware. So here I'm putting the name as Windows update.exe. So that if I can share to anyone else, he or she will think, okay, it is a Windows update. Even you can mention the game here, game name or any other file here. So we can mention GTA5, okay, .exe. So this is the name of a malware. And then here we have the format, in which format we are saving the malware. Here is the lhost, which is your local host, IP address of your Kali machine. So let me check the IP once again. Okay, 106. So here we have successfully created the malware. Okay, and here we have the size of malware is this much, and we can use ls to check the malware. Okay. So we have the malware somewhere here. Yeah, this is our malware. Okay, so we have successfully created the malware. Now we have to move this malware in the server location. So what we can do, we can click on move the malware, name of your file you want to move. So I want to move this file. Now where you want to move? So I want to move inside server location. Okay, enter. Then here we have to start the server, which is Apache, sorry, service Apache to start. Okay, we are starting the server. And then we can use status. Now the server is pre-installed inside the Linux machine. And you can see it is active and running. Okay, now what we are doing here? See, let's take a scenario. Give me a second. So here we are going to use the reverse connection. So first here we have two types of connections. Okay, so for hacking the Windows, we have to understand the connections. So first here we have bind shell. Okay, which is bind connection, and then we have reverse shell, which is reverse connection. Okay, now in the bind shell, let's say, let's think of this is my Windows machine. Okay, which is my target machine. And then this is the attacker machine, which is the Kali machine. Okay, so here in the bind connection or in the bind shell, the connection are straightforward. For example, in the Kali, now the Kali machine, which is the attacker machine, wants to hack the Kali Windows machine, which is the target machine. So for hacking the Windows machine, obviously I will share the request for accepting. Now, like I will share the request for the connection. Like please connect to my Kali machine. And if the Windows accept the connection, then we can say the Windows is compromised. Okay, which is this is a bind connection, like a simple connection. The attacker machine sending the request for accepting, And the Windows machine accepts if the Windows machine, it depends on the Windows machine also. If the Windows machine accepts the connection, then we can say the Windows is compromised. But if not, then we can say we cannot able to hack the Windows. Okay. Now let's say there's a firewall which is blocking your connections. Let's say there's a firewall here, and this firewall is blocking the request of the Kali machine. Then what we can do? We cannot hack the Windows because there's a firewall which is blocking the packets of the Kali, which is the request of the Kali machine. Then we cannot hack the Windows machine because of this firewall or any other security mechanism. So this is bind connection. Okay, the simple connection where the attacker machine itself sending the request for the connection. Now it's up to the Windows machine to accept or not. If the Windows machine accept by mistake, then we can say the Windows machine is compromised. And if not, then we can say we cannot able to access the Windows machine. Okay, it is a simple bind connection. Then we have a reverse connection. Now think of a opposite situation. Okay, we have the Windows machine and the Kali machine. Now here Windows machine in the reverse connection. The Windows machine itself send the connection request here. That is the reverse here. And the Kali machine, which is waiting for the request, which is waiting for the machine to hack, accepts the response. Which means the Windows machine itself, it is saying that please come and hack me. Okay, means the Windows machine itself sending the request, which is the connection request to the Kali machine, and the Kali machine will accept the response here because the Kali machine, which is the attacker, it is waiting for the to hack the Windows machine, right? So the Kali machine will accept the response, and we can gain access inside the Windows machine. So this is known as reverse connection. But why the Windows machine shares the request? Okay, now that is the question. Like why the Windows machine in the first place shares the request? Because of the malware we are creating. Okay, because of the malware we are creating. So first here the Kali machine. One second. Because the Kali machine shares the malware in the first place. So the Kali machine, which is attacker, we will share the malware in the Windows machine. The Windows machine will execute the malware. And then if the malware executed in the Windows machine, then the Windows machine shares a request, which is the connection request to the Kali machine. Okay, that is the flow. So that is why here, if you see the malware, that is why we have mentioned the IP address. We have mentioned the IP address of the Kali machine here because here we are accepting the request. Okay, so that is why we have mentioned the address of the Kali because we want the request to come to Kali machine. Okay, that is why the L host is Kali machine IP, L port is 1224, and here the payload is Windows for the Windows, and it is a reverse connection. And here we are creating a TCP connection, reverse TCP connection. Okay, that is why we have used this particular malware. That is the meaning of this payload. Okay, now let me explain with the help of an example. Let's say this Windows machine. Okay, and we have this Kali machine. Okay, let's say the Kali machine is throwing a party. Okay, a welcome party. Now the Kali machine wants to invite the Windows machine in the party. So first the Kali machine shares the invitation, and in the place of invitation we are sharing the malware. Okay, and in the malware we are mentioning the address, which is IP address, where the Windows machine have to come, and then the port number. Okay, so in the invitation we are mentioning the address and the venue. Okay, in the malware, that is why we have mentioned the L host, like local host, which is Kali IP, and the L port, which is local port. So first the Kali machine will share the invitation to the Windows, which is a malware. The Windows machine will accept the malware, sorry, invitation, which is it will execute the malware. Okay, so it is like accepting the invitation. Then Windows machine will accept the invitation. Then Windows machine will come Kali place, which is Kali Linux place, which is here. It will share the request. Okay, like it will like ring the bell here. Okay, please let me in. Okay. So now the Windows machine wants to enter in the Kali machine, right? So here the Kali is waiting for the request. Like Kali machine is waiting for its guest here, right? So the Kali machine will accept the response. And the Kali machine let the Windows machine inside the Kali machine, which is like the Kali machine is accepting the request of the Windows machine. But here, before accepting the response, like request, now let's say you are inviting any guest in your house, then you have to decorate your house, right? So for the decoration, the Kali machine has to create a listener here. Okay, like Kali wants to welcome the Windows machine. So he have to create a listener here, which is a welcome decoration here. So for the decoration, we are creating a listener. So that whenever any guest or any Windows will come, we can accept the request. Okay, in the form of with the help of this listener. So that is the whole process here we are following. Okay, here we have the Windows machine. So in the reverse connection, the Windows machine sends the request. The Kali machine is eagerly waiting for accepting the response. So the Kali machine will accept the response, and then we can say we have fully compromised the Windows machine. That is the whole process here. And this whole process will happen because of this malware we are creating. Is it clear this much? Like what is the process we are following? Any questions? Because for understanding Windows hacking, you have to understand the flow of the malware, like the flow of the connections. Okay, now what we can do, we have successfully created the malware, and then we have moved the malware inside this location, which is the server location. Now there's one more thing, we have to share the invitation, right? The malware. So where we can share? You can share via post, you can share via courier, you can share via WhatsApp, you can share via like email. So here we are sharing the malware via server. Okay, so that is why we are moving the file inside this location. This is a location of your server. And then we have started the server, which is Apache second. Start, and then we have checked the status, which is Apache running. Okay, now everything is okay here. Now we have to start decorating the Kali machine, which is we have to create a listener here so that we can accept the response from the Windows machine. Sorry, request from the Windows machine. So for the decoration, we will use MSF console, which is we have to create a listener so that whenever the Windows share the request, we can accept it. So we have to create a listener. Okay, so here we can clear the screen. Now, here we can use exploit /multi/handler. So this is the exploit we are using, and then we can use show options. Okay, so this is the same exploit we can use in the Windows as well as in the Android hacking. Okay, so here we have to set the LHost here. So you can use, set LHost. Now LHost means IP of your Kali machine, which is 106. Then output. Now here output is 444, but the output we have used is 1224. So you have to change the output here. Okay, so you have to change the output, set output here 1224. Like you can use any output, but make sure the information which you are providing in the malware is same in the listener. Okay, for example, the lhost is same here, output is same here, same as the lhost is same in the malware, same in the output. Now we have to set payload. So copy the payload from here, from the command, and here set payload. Okay, now you can use show options. Okay, so here we have the everything is set. Lhost is set here, output is set, payload is set. Now we can use run here. Now the decoration, or we can say the listener is ready. Now we can ready to accept the invitation from the Windows, the request from the Windows machine. Okay, now what we can do, now we have to open the Windows machine. Okay, let's say this is my Windows machine, and here before opening, we have to open the Windows security. Okay, like we have to turn off the antivirus here. So you can open the Windows security in the virus and threat protection. Click on the manage settings here, virus and threat protection settings, manage, and turn off this real-time protection. Okay, if you are using any external antivirus, so turn off that antivirus also. Okay, so this is Windows Defender, and you can also like remove any or just turn off any antivirus if you are using. Okay, then open the Firefox or any other browser. So don't open the Chrome. Chrome is a secure browser. Okay, now here you have to mention the IP address of the Windows Linux and slash name of your malware. So name of my malware is GTA5.exe. Enter. Now you can see the malware is downloaded here. You can click on file. Okay, so this is my malware, which is GTA5. Right. Now you have to execute. So double click on it to execute. So the malware is executed. Sorry, we have to use, okay, we have one more warning, which is more info, run anyway. Okay, now here, this in the Windows, nothing will happen, but in the Kali, we have gained the shell. Okay, which is session 1 open. So now we are inside the Windows machine. So you can use sysinfo to check here. So this is my system information, my Windows host name, my Windows machine, other information. Okay, we have 2 users in my Windows machine. Okay, then we can use help here to check what kind of commands we can use. So in the Windows machine, we can use multiple commands. Okay, so first here we have some file system commands. We have some simple commands, okay, like core commands. Like we can background any process. We can these are of like we can sleep the Windows. We can restart Windows. We can quit the session and so on. And here we have file system commands. Like we can move into anything. We can read any file. We can do anything. Like we can download any file. We can upload any file. We can create any file. We can create any directories. Okay, we can upload any file and so on. Then we have some networking commands. We can apply these commands to check networking information of Windows machine. Then we have some system commands, which is here. What is happening? Yeah, we have some system commands where we can see some environment variables. We can kill here. We can kill any process. We can check any process. We can restart the machine. We can shut down the machine. We can do any number of operations. Then we have some user interface commands, like we can capture the keystrokes of the Windows machine. Let's say the Windows user is writing something. So you can capture that, like whatever the Windows user is typing. Okay, you can check what he is or she is typing. You can check, you can share the screen. Okay, you can check what that person is doing here. You can see the screenshot. You can like capture the screenshot and so on. Then we have web camera. You can open the web camera. You can open the mic. You can start the video chat and so on. Okay, and then you can do some more operations here. So let's try one more commands here. So now let's say we have this one, which is key scan underscore start. Okay, now let's say this is my Windows machine. Okay, here I can type anything, right? Let's say I'm the Windows user. I'm the victim here. Let's say I'm typing here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, or I can type hello and so on. So whatever the Windows user is typing, like anywhere in the browser, in any website, like whatever he or she is typing, you can able to see in your Linux machine. And here you can use key scan underscore dump here. Okay, so here I have typed 1 to 9, and then here this is enter key here, and this is whatever I have typed here. Okay, so you can see like whatever the Windows user type, you can see with the help of key scan dump. And if you want to stop, you can use key scan underscore stop. You can also take the screenshot. You can type here screenshot of the Windows machine. Okay, let me minimize it. Okay, now here I have to click on enter. So what I can do, you can minimize the screen. Okay, now you can press enter here. Okay, so this will take the screenshot of this window here. Now you can see the screenshot is saved inside this location. The name of the screenshot is IP. Okay, so we can open this screenshot here. You can use home Kali. Inside Kali. This one. Okay, now we can open it. Okay, now you can see this is my window here. Okay, we are using this one. We have pressed the screenshot here. This is the Windows screenshot. Okay, apart from this, you can check for the processes. You can kill any process. You can, so these are the processes running in my Windows machine. Okay. And then we can read any file. Let me clear the screen. CLS will work. No, it's okay. We can use LS here. Okay, so let's say let's move on. Where are we? We can use PW. Inside downloads. So we can move inside desktop. So we can use CD and we can use desktop here. LS. Now let's say I want to download any file from here. So let's say let's download this file test.py, this file. So we can use download here simply and name of the file, which is test.py. Okay, now it is saved here. So we can open the home Kali again, and here we have this test.py file. You can see here. Okay, we have this file. Same as we can upload anything. For example, I want to upload this file nss.py. Okay, so you can use upload nss.py. Okay, this is uploaded, and here you can see in the file we have this nss.py. The same file we have in the Kali machine. Okay, and then we can move into any file. We can move into any directory. We can see anything. We can perform any number of operations. Okay, like we have various operations here. So you can delete anything. You can list anything. You can read anything. Like we have some networking information. We can use ifconfig here. So these are the details of the Windows machine. Okay, and so on. Okay, is it clear this much? Any questions up to here?
Yes, maybe I have one question. For example, you're showing us Windows. The same way we can hack into Mac or mobile.
Yeah. No, the process for hacking the Mac OS is different from Windows. Okay, even Mac OS is easier than Windows hacking. We can simply share the P5 file in the Mac OS and we can hack the entire Mac OS. So Mac OS is more easy to hack than Windows OS. Okay. That we will see how we can hack the Mac OS in the later sessions. Okay. And for the Android, the process is same. So in the Android here, you have to just change the payload here, which is in place of Windows. Here you have to mention the Android. That's it. And the entire process is same. And in place of the Windows, you can open your Android phone. And in the Android, you can visit this website, which is your Kali IP, and then your malware name, and download your malware, and then execute it. It is like a APK file. Okay. I will show in a while. Okay, like we have to change some settings here. Okay, we cannot run exe file inside Android, so we have to create a APK file, and then we can share it inside the Android, and then when you run the Android, you will get the shell here. Okay. So now one more thing here is uh, like uh, here we are turning off the antivirus, right? Like what is the need of turning off this antivirus? So first thing is, if you don't turn off, then we cannot execute the malware, because this malware cannot bypass the security of the Windows 11. This malware can work inside Windows 7 or Windows 8. Okay, and in the examination also you will get Windows 7 or Windows 8 only, not Windows 10 or 11 in the official examination. Okay, but for the Windows 11 or for the Windows 10, this malware cannot bypass the security of the Windows. Okay, for example, if you run this malware, let me show here. If you open this malware inside the virus total, okay, so here we can click on choose file and downloads. We can choose this malware. Okay, now we can see confirm upload. So all the antivirus identify this file as malware. Okay, because this is a very simple malware. We are creating the malware with the help of MSF Venom. MSF Venom is very known for creating the malware. So that is why whatever the malware you will create with the help of MSF Venom, that will not able to bypass the Windows security or any other security like Android or or Mac OS, anything, iOS. Okay, so that is why we are turning off the antivirus. Now, there's one more point. So, what is the need of like what is the means of sending the malware? If the if we have to turn off the antivirus first, because we cannot go in the victim machine and we cannot turn off the antivirus, and then we cannot say him or her that please turn off your antivirus. So we cannot say that. Okay. So in that case, in the real life scenarios, this malware is useless, right? You can use this malware in Windows 7 and Windows 8, but for the Windows 10 or Windows 11 users, we cannot share this malware because the antivirus or the Windows, even the Windows Defender will block a malware. Even the Chrome security will block this malware. So what we can do in this case, we can use some bypassing technique, okay, to bypass this malware. But if you use some bypassing technique, like if you can encode your malware, if you can convert your malware in the Trojan, okay, like Trojan is like whenever you are hiding the malware inside any image or inside a PDF, then also you cannot able to bypass the security because you are creating the malware with the help of MSI Venom. Okay, so whatever the malware you will create, this will these all are useless in the real life scenarios. Okay, so there's no way of bypassing the malware with the help of MSA Venom. If you want to create a fully, if you want to like, if you want to bypass the antivirus, then you have to create your own malware with the help of Python, C, C++, or any language of your choice. Okay, so in that case, if you want to fully bypass the malware, then we have to create our own malware. Okay, so that is another part. Okay, that is like malware development part. So also we can hide this malware, this exe malware inside any image, inside any PDF. So whenever the user opens the PDF, like the malware, the PDF will be displayed, not the malware, and the malware will run in the background. Okay, but we cannot do this with the help of MSA Venom. Okay, that is the different process. And whatever the technique you will apply in the MSA Venom, that will not able to bypass the security of the antiviruses because MSM Venom is like well known for the malwares. Okay, so the signatures of the malware which is created by MSM Venom is all in the database of the antiviruses. So that is why we cannot able to bypass it. So for creating the malware, you have to code uniquely, and secondly, you have to code in your own language. Okay, that depends on the purpose of your malware. Okay, with this malware, you are taking the reverse shell. Okay, which is also known as red malware, which is remote access Trojan. Right. So now here you can see after scanning, 43 vendors identified this as malware. Okay, out of 58. So you can see this is a Trojan, and this is a Windows malware, and so on. So this is useless if you are sharing it in the real life to any user. Okay, if he or she is running in Windows 7, then you can share it. That will work. But if any user is running Windows 10 or 11, then this malware is useless. That is why in the examination you will the paper that in the exam you will see just Windows 7 or Windows 8 only. Okay, not Windows 10 or 11 machines. Okay, but the process of hacking the Windows 7, Windows 8, or Windows 11 or 10, they are all same. Okay, this is only of the desktop machine, not the Windows server. The process of hacking the Windows server is different. Okay, so that is why we have turned off the antivirus. And then after completing your activities, try these operations here. Okay, like we have many operations here. So try one by one. Okay, even from these operations, some operations are not working. Like for example, web camera. No, for example, this hash dump. This will not work. Okay, and some other operations they are not working because of the limitation of the malware inside Windows machine. Okay, in the Windows 10 machine. So after trying these commands, you can just use exit here. Okay, and after this, open your file browser and remove this malware. Okay, don't forget to remove and then turn off your, sorry, turn on your antivirus. Okay, this is how you can restore the settings. And this is how we can hack the malwares. Sorry, Windows hacking. The same process we can follow with the uh, Android hacking. But in the Android, we have this malware, which is MSN Venom -P Android. Okay. So again, we are using Android meet operator, same process, reverse TCP, same process. We are creating a reverse connection where the Android will give us the connection request, and then lhost your localhost IP, lport your local port, R means raw. Now here we are creating a raw file, and the name of your file is game.apk, because in the Android we can run APK files. So the extension is APK here. So this malware we can use for the Android, and rest of the process is same. We have to share the malware in the server directory, and then here from the server directory, we can create a listener. So the process is same. You have to use this payload in the listener, same local host, same local port, and then click on run. And after running, open your Android, open the Chrome browser there, apply the IP address of your Kali machine / your name of your malware, and then this will install the malware inside a machine, and then after installing you will get the shell here, okay, in the listener. So the same process is with the Android hacking. Okay, but still in the Android hacking, you will get some warnings from the Play Store that this malware is not legit. This one contains some malicious. So, but you can click on run anyway. Okay. And after completing the operations, you can just uninstall your malware. Okay. So for the malware also, you can see in the Android, you cannot hide your malware inside image or inside any PDF. But for the Android, you can hide your APK file inside any other APK file. Okay, this is a bypassing technique you can use. Okay, like you can hide your malware. Let's say you have this malicious malware. So you can hide this malicious APK inside any other APK. Let's say you are creating a game. So you can hide your malware inside this game APK. So if any user install your game, so she will also install your malware APK. Okay, and the user will play the game. In the background, your malware would be running. Okay, it is like a bypassing technique. But hacking someone's Android or Windows is illegal. Okay. So in the Android, we can follow this approach. For the Windows, we can follow the approach of hiding the malware inside images or inside PDF. Even we can hide it inside the PPTs or documents, etc. Okay. But remember, whenever you are creating the malware with the help of any application, like MSF Venom, any tool, that will not work. That will not able to bypass that device. Okay, so there's one way to bypass, to just create your own malware. Okay, even if you take the source code from the internet, the malware source code, then also you cannot able to bypass, because for that you have to code uniquely. You have to put the variables name uniquely, you have to put the functions name uniquely, and so on. So coding the malware uniquely can bypass the antivirus, and also you can encode your antivirus, like encode the source code of the malware, and then convert your malware in the trojans, and then that malware will bypass the antivirus. Okay, and that depends on the even the purpose of a malware. Okay, like some malwares can take the reverse shell, some malware can take the screenshot, some malware can take the Wi-Fi passwords, and so on. Okay, is it clear this much? Any questions?
No question.
Okay, so that's it for today. I think you can all try this Metasploitable second machine, Qpatrick's level 1, and Windows hacking and Android hacking. Okay, if you find any problem while hacking these machines, you can ping me on WhatsApp. Okay, you can ping me, you can ping your problem in the group. Okay, like any error if you're facing, then you can just take the screenshot and share in the group. Okay, and that's it for today. In the next session, we will start with the SQL injection and some web application attacks.
Bhavya, like before we do the practice, like we need to have the video recording. So yesterday, I think
Yeah,
you
I will share the
forgot
recording all
to
together.
send us. So Yeah, please, like then we can do the practice, otherwise actually we don't remember, like, after the class, like pretty much, you know what I mean? So I'll
I can
appreciate that,
understand.
like, if you send a
I will share
recording
it by
along with the
today.
notes, like,
Sure, sure.
okay, all right. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
Thank you so much. And rest, we will continue in the next session.